Hello everyone, this is Mike. Welcome back to another MPA episode. In this episode, we'll create a simple Afk script which will automatically reconnect to the server once the game is disconnected. The first thing is to download a server file for Minecraft so we can test it. To do this, we can go to mcversion.net and select the version you want. For example, I want the pre-release 6 version. So I'll click the server button in the pre-release 6 section. After you download the file, go to the folder and open it. On the first time, it won't launch because you haven't agreed the EULA. You just open the file and change it to true and save it. Then you can launch the server normally. Now is the time for the Afk script. First, open a new file in your code editor. You'll notice I'm using Atom instead of Python IDLE because it is way smarter and easier to use. You can get it for free because it is open source. To make things easy, I'll copy the previous code and modify it to save some trouble. We want to add this line at the beginning of the code, so Windows Python know which version you are using. This will allow you double-click to run the script. Once you have done it, we can change the package to suit our needs. We'll need image grab and image from PIL package. You can save your script so it will give you a syntax highlight, but don't forget to add .py in the end. Now we can delete all the not related variables. We'll keep the time and PyAuto GUI package, then remove the rest. After that, we need to collect some measurements from Minecraft's user interface. Now what you want to do is run both client and server at the same time. And go to the multiplayer menu, click add server and type localhost in address section, then click save. This will add your server to the list and then you can connect to it. After you logged in, type kick your name into the chat box. You need to be an operator to do this. Now you just need to press print screen button on your keyboard to take a screenshot. Then open an image editor. In this case I'm using GIMP. It is similar to Photoshop but it is open source. Create a new file. The height and width should be same as the screen's resolution and paste the screenshot in. I have two monitors, so I need to align the main screen to the corner perfectly in order to get correct measurement. Now we just need to select the button with select tool. Make sure it is aligned perfectly to the corner. Then we can get the reading from tool option section. It is located at left bottom corner by default. You can always move it. If you cannot find the print screen key, just open the snipping tool and select full screen snip. Then you can click copy and paste it into the editor. You need to get position and dimensions of the selection. Once you have done that, go ahead and create variables in the script to store those measurements. The measurements could change according to the string resolution, the game window size, and the texture packs. Now we can modify the function we copied, change the function name to save button image. We'll take a look at bbox option. The dark blue section represents the screen, and the orange rectangle is the bbox area. X1, Y1 represent the top left corner, and X2, Y2 represent bottom right. This section is the part that we take the screenshot and save it later. In this case, the X1 Y1 is the button's position, and X2 Y2 is the button's position plus its dimensions. Then we delete the load method because we don't need that to save the image. After that, we use save method to save the image that we captured into the hard drive. The file name is backbutton.png and the format is lowercase png. Now we can call the function, save the file, and run it so the image will be saved in the current folder. Now we should delete the save function. Then we can load the image that we just saved by using image.open file name to open the image and put .load in the end. Now I'll create a compare image function to compare if two images are the same or not. We'll take four parameters, the image A and image B, which is two images that we're comparing, and the width and height of those images. We'll use two for loops to loop through the pixels into images. The reason I divided by 2 is because Minecraft scale up the image of the button so it fits a larger graphic interface. By divided by 2, we can save up some process cycle and speed up the program. The method I use here to compare those images is take the RGB value of each pixel, subtract them, and take the square of it, then sum it up to get the total difference of the image. After the two loops are done, we'll return the total difference, and now I'll put a print function to print out the difference just for debug purpose. You should comment out after you test the script. Next, we'll create its disconnected function to check if the player is disconnected from the server. This can get a little bit tricky because, as you guys can see, the button moves up and down when the message is changed. To deal with this problem, I create a for loop to shift the checking area down line by line. So if the button appears on the screen and is shifted down, the loop will eventually get the button because it's moving down line by line, and it will return how much the button is moved. Now we can call the function compareImage and store the value in a variable. If the result is a small number, it means the button is appeared and the game is disconnected. and the function will return 0 if it's not disconnected, or it will return how much the button is moved. Now we can create a main loop so we can test the function. The try except statement is optional. Inside the while loop, we want to put its disconnect and sleep function, and then we'll call the main function. Finally, don't forget to put +i for y values of compare image function. Now, as we can see, according to how much the button is moved, the output is different. We'll store the output of the function into a variable so we can use it later. After that, we'll create an if statement using the output. Inside the statement, we'll create a message that tells the user when it's disconnected. We also need to create a reconnect function so it can reconnect to the server after disconnected. The function itself is pretty simple. Basically, it's just move the mouse and click the button and then move the mouse and click the button again. You will need to take the coordinate of the connect server button. We can see once it's disconnected, it will automatically click the buttons and connect to the server. Until this point, the essential code is completed. After that, I'm adding failure counters, which will stop trying to connect to the server after several times. The code of them are pretty straightforward, so I don't need to explain it too much. The ideal fail interval and checking interval is greater than 1 minute. For demonstration purpose, I will use 5 seconds. Now everything is done, and I will show you how this thing works. All of the source code will be available on GitHub, and I'll put a link in the description. You can download it and take a look. If you have any idea for what to do next, write it down in comment section. I'm going out for a trip on July, and I'll be back in August. I'll bring my laptop with me so I can create more videos during the trip, but I won't be able to record any speech due to the recording environment. Hope you guys can enjoy and learn something from it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.